Harvey Weinstein will go directly to jail, where he will stay until his sentencing next month. The disgraced movie executive could face up to 29 years behind bars after he was convicted on Monday on 2 felony sex counts. The 67-year-old is expected to be housed at the notorious New York City prison Rikers Island, but there's a chance he could end up at a jail away from the city instead. The city reporter, Reuven Blau, is here to explain why Weinstein might avoid time at Rikers. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So what's the chance, the likelihood that Harvey Weinstein does not end up in Rikers, and why?
There's a strong possibility. It seems right now that the city jail officials are considering shipping him out to another jurisdiction, maybe even as far as Albany, more likely Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester. This has been a system that the city's had in place for many, many years. A lot of times when they have a high-profile inmate they want to get rid of or move to a different area, they'll just ship him out to a different spot.
You and I were talking about this a little earlier, and I wondered if he'd be housed with the general population.
Yeah, absolutely not. He would be likely placed in an area called the North Infirmary Command, where they put all the high-profile inmates. And because the number of inmates has dropped by so many over the last few years, he would literally get his own area away from everyone else, even in the North Infirmary Command.
Weinstein's lawyers are pushing for him to be sent to a special medical facility for inmates who need extra protection. Will this request be granted?
That's a good question. You know, the city will say, hey, look, there is no better facility than Bellevue. Right now he's in Bellevue. They say, you know, if inmates have medical issues that need to be taken care of, there's actually a medical unit that the city jail has in Bellevue Hospital, one of the best hospitals in the country. And then if, you know, there's a limited, if he needs kind of limited care, again, he can get that on Rikers Island. So the city will say, hey, look, we have the ability to handle, you know, whatever medical needs he has in our custody.
He was rerouted to Manhattan's Bellevue Hospital after complaining of chest pains. That was following Monday's verdict. And there are a lot of people who could care less that Harvey Weinstein is suffering chest pains because of what he has done. And so, you know, there's a lot of people wondering, like, are those chest pains legit? Was the walker legit? You've seen all of that already. What's it look like for him in Bellevue, though?
It's a pretty cushy spot.
It is. It's cushy.
Yeah. I mean, the inmates typically prefer being there as opposed to being on Rikers Island. You know, a lot of times there's actually a lot of friction between inmates and medical staff. They'll say, hey, look, I have a really serious medical condition. I need to be sent to Bellevue. Doctors will say, hey, look, you're faking it. You want to out of Rikers Island. So it is a pretty cushy spot. He's there, and, you know, he's likely getting kind of the Harvey Weinstein treatment already. You know, other inmates likely by now, I'm not a doctor and I don't know his medical condition exactly, but typically they try to limit people's stay in Bellevue in the medical ward. You know, definitely not more than a couple days max. You know, so he's definitely getting a little bit of a special treatment already, it seems like.
Is he able to see and receive visitors?
Yeah, he's able to get visitors just similarly, but it's a lot easier to visit somebody in Bellevue Hospital than it is to go all the way down to Rikers Island. You know, it's a schlep. There's a bridge that goes there, and it's a long process. It could take up to several hours to just kind of see someone, unless you're the person's lawyer.
Really interesting. Reuven Blau from the city. Always great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks for sticking around, too.
Absolutely.